You're on.
All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's January 31st. This is a work session of the Board of Selectmen, primarily to review the warrant and I think at the beginning we'll get rid of one thing for signature. We've got for signature a voucher for the library capital reserve funds. And I don't think there's a lot
Is
left.
that the $800?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, you already voted on that, that's fine.
We did vote on it?
Yeah, that was probably, Diane probably
We
just left that
signed it
with
last
checks.
week, didn't we?
We signed.
I thought
one.
this, I thought, to be honest with you, we did too, but,
The three of us signed this,
Right.
oh, shit,
and
question.
then I guess the,
Oh, we used the wrong form.
They like a form,
We
that's
used the
true.
wrong form.
Yeah, so you're, yeah, that's just the.
I'm gonna sign this form.
Well, since we already voted on it, yeah.
Okay, good.
We'll get there.
And we have a separate folder? That's amazing.
It's orange,
Yeah.
so excited.
Okay, in the public hearing, when are we doing that?
Yeah, that's just the thing, if you
24th.
okay that, I'll post that in the paper.
Is that for the fire department equipment?
Yep,
Yes.
okey, sounds good. 24th, I'll have it scheduled for. It's also the day of the landfill bids.
Okay.
Okay.
And the rest should be warrant article stuff.
All right, let's start with the warrant articles, I guess. Have we voted on these? I think we have, haven't we? All
So,
except
yeah, the
for-
results are all at the bottom, so anything that I've highlighted, anything you haven't voted on
Okay.
in yellow. And
Are
then of
there any
course,
changes? You want to go through all of them?
There was
Just go through the yellow ones.
it's, I mean,
Are there any of the other ones that we want to?
I was thinking, I saw something, and I'm trying to remember where it was in here, that I thought maybe wording we could
okay.
tweak, yeah, and,
It's not gonna hurt to review, just in case I missed a word or something.
no, not you.
It's always good to have another eye.
Oh, all right, so Article 13,
Okay.
so that funds the complete architectural plans for new police facility.
Yeah, Diane changed that
And
wording,
then-
yeah.
huh?
Diane
And
changed
then-
that wording to make it clearer, she thought. We had the
So-
costs, but,
And what it costs to build a new facility.
yeah.
That's very awkward and confusing, so did somebody change it? We didn't.
Diane did, because we had architectural plans and costs to build the new facility.
Would be cost
She changed what it
estimates.
cost. She just thought that sounded funny with in costs. So I said, well, maybe cost.
No, cost estimate,
Yep, sounds good.
yeah.
Yes.
The what it costs, just
Oh, gotcha.
estimate.
Okay.
Do we need to vote on that again?
I don't know if it's a substantive change.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, you want to go back to 11? And this is just grandpa's being a pissant. I didn't like that language, and I continue to not like the language
Which-
of taking it out of the capital, or the undesignated fund balance.
Unfund balance.
So that's the only thing that got removed there.
That's correct, and we voted on that
It passed.
Monday, right?
Yep, all set.
So we're all set on that?
Yep,
Okay. So it's TBD on the budget committee.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
15 okay, saying December 31st of 2022. You hadn't voted on that or talked about it. I just wanted to make sure I had that right, because I was following suit with the next one.
A non-lapsing can go for 3 years.
That's what I
right?
meant, so, yeah.
if we're gonna make it non-lapsing, I think we ought to do it for the full
3 years.
3-year
Okay.
period.
Yes.
Thank you.
Would that be 23?
I was looking at, let's see, 20, well, it counts
No,
20,
no,
I
through-
suppose.
Through December of '22, that's
Yeah.
3 years.
Because it counts the
20,
year
21,
2020.
22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's 3.
I don't think we can go beyond that by
Well,
law.
hopefully we get it done before that.
Right.
Okay, 17, did y'all get the message from,
Tyler Phillips?
Tyler Phillips about being $2,500 to permit that?
Mhm.
Do we
Yes.
wanna put a warrant article together for that, or do we wanna just, or do we want to, knowing that we're gonna spend $250,000 or whatever it is, do we wanna start putting money aside? That was the only thing I was thinking about driving in here.
My thought is that at least put the warrant article in for $2,500. That way it offers an explanation at town meeting and educates the people to what the project is.
And wait and do the actual capital until next year.
That's the second thing is, what I am concerned with is how much taxes are gonna go up with all these warrant articles. We're already.
I don't think they're gonna go up, I actually think they're gonna go down if we really look at our.
And you're the expert on that, so.
Undesignated fund balance, I think we're just about even with last year.
Yeah.
So if you take a couple $100,000 out of the fund,
Last year was 955 and we're at 965,
yeah.
Mhm.
700. So
Yeah,
you know,
we're close.
your diagnosis is correct.
So, yeah.
So you wanna leave that at 2,500 and not do any capital for the wharf until next year?
I'd like to put money aside, but we got a pretty full
Yeah.
capital schedule already, so I guess I'd say 2,500. And I agree with you, by putting it on the warrant,
It alerts
then everybody's more clued in as to what's going on.
Right.
And-
They know the
and
project's
Even though
coming.
we've been working on this project for a year and a half,
Yes.
then we don't get somebody that says, well, nobody ever told us anything about it.
And there's nothing to stop someone from adding to it.
You know, well, that's true.
Okay, so if we could do it, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $2,500 for the permitting
Fees?
and permitting fees and design of repairs to Union Wharf.
This one's actually just for the permitting
No, I know,
application fees.
I know.
Oh, okay,
I
sorry.
do like your idea of expanding it a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, just so that we're not limited to spending that money just for permitting.
Right.
Can you just please repeat that again, for the
Permitting
permitting fees and?
Design
Okay,
for repairs to Union Wharf, right?
Yep,
okay.
that's the motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So that'll have to come before the budget committee as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, are we gonna get some pushback on 18? Where the transfer to the municipalities general fund language is in there?
Budget committee approved it.
Oh, they did?
I don't
Okay,
know
so
why.
so Gordon wasn't yelling about that.
What it is to eliminate that fund, and there's only pennies left in it anyway.
Right.
It's a housekeeping article,
Yeah,
correct?
right.
Yeah.
Yep. So if we don't just disestablish the fund, then the small balance that's in there just stays in there forever.
And then the
And-
Secretary of State writes us a letter and tells us it's abandoned.
Yeah, or some such thing, yeah. So
All right, well, I'll move Article 18.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Was there any, I apologize.
No, no.
Further discussion. 20.
Looks good.
Okay, did we read the email from Rick Sager?
Yes.
Mhm.
And
So this is, there was apparently some confusion based upon, because the language that we passed before didn't specify that it was gonna be there until town meeting voted to take it away.
right.
That maybe it was just for 1 year, even though it didn't say for 1 year. So if we pass it again, where it specifically highlights until town meeting says you can't do it, then we don't have to keep coming back every year. I mean, the reality seems to be that we are gonna continue to take property by tax deed. Not a lot, but 1 or 2 properties a year from people that don't pay it. So if we don't have the authority to sell it, then it just sits here forever, and it doesn't generate any taxes, and it's,
Or we have to ask every year.
or we have to ask every year, and
The other thing is, it's a housekeeping article. We have 2 cases permanently where families are trying to work with the town and whatnot, and this just fills any loopholes, and it allows us to work with these people to get their taxes paid.
I'm wondering if we shouldn't add some language though that conforms to that request from some parts of our electorate that it include language of sealed bid and.
what says it? By public auction and sealed bid, or in such manner as
Oh, I'm sorry.
determined as justice may
Sorry,
require.
I didn't-
Okay, so
Okay.
it's the same article that we passed the last 2 years. It
But it's
just,
just gonna be-
it just adds the language so there isn't any ambiguity about whether town meeting is telling us we can continue to do it until somebody says no.
Right,
And
right, okay.
I don't know why, I mean, the alternative if town meeting says, no, you can't do it, is then we take this stuff and it just sits off the tax rolls. It just hangs there.
In these 2 instances, it helps not only the town and the taxpayer, it helps the homeowners. And isn't government supposed to operate that way?
Yeah.
I think it's a good article.
Well, I think there's probably opportunity if somebody wants to block a tax sale mid-year, that there's language in the RSA that they can do that.
Yes.
So it's not as if the
Well,
town's.
there's
not
public
around.
hearings and
I
there's
mean,
checks and
elections over
balances.
here as
Yes.
well,
Right.
so you don't have to go around.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna move Article 20.
Second.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
So 22, I don't know typically if the selectmen actually vote on that or not.
What's that?
22 is the monetary one, I think. You leave that as
I think
is,
the
correct? And
budget
just put
committee-
your,
That's their article.
Yeah.
yeah, that's how
So-
I understand that too. Okay, so
and,
we'll leave that one alone.
You know, since their number is different than our number, I guess you know, just leave it as it is.
Doesn't it need to be the last article that's voted on?
No.
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 It goes before petitions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Article 23.
Well, typically, I should say.
Let me suggest that we not vote on either of the petition articles. And here's my thought. We talked before about some of the conditions that we discussed relative to the Willand Road article before. They're not in the article. Things like making sure that the town isn't going to have to put a lot of money into the road to bring it up to where we can maintain it. And the residents agreed that they would separately fund or complete improvements to the road necessary to bring it up to regular maintenance standards. So if we were gonna vote on it, as it stands, I would feel compelled to vote against it.
Right.
Consequently, but I'm not opposed to accepting the road. So if we don't vote on it at all, which we don't have to, then it leaves it up to the conversation at town meeting to deal with it. My concerns can certainly be addressed by an amendment on the floor to the article.
Right.
Alternatively, we can put in our own article that includes everything that we need. I think that's just confusion.
Well, I don't think it's recommended by our attorney either, so.
Have you read the note that Jim Beam?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
I think he's being a little heavy-handed, but.
Right,
Yes.
right. So he went out and looked at the road, and he was unable to determine at this time of year whether there were some features and issues that need to be addressed.
Right.
And, I understand that. So that needs to be,
And also Rick Sager has made a couple of recommendations,
Right.
We're not gonna
which is
make-
exactly what you're talking about.
We're not gonna make Willand Road better than every other road in town.
no,
We're just
no,
gonna make it a class 5 road.
right.
Okay, well, I'm in agreement that we don't vote.
Yeah.
And then we'll address it at
Right.
the town meeting.
Right.
If we wanna add language,
Right.
we can do that then.
And
It's a work in progress.
I would recommend that we not vote on the other petition article, just so that we're not,
We're consistent.
just so we're not saying, oh,
Right.
we love this guy, we don't love this guy. I don't see any defects in Article 24 that are concerns to me in Article 23, but I think that we can just not vote on either one of them and put them on.
Okay, we're
The
gonna.
the requirement is they have to be on the warrant as they're on the petition. We can't not put them on the warrant, we can't change them. We have to
Right.
include them as they're petitioned. So I think my suggestion is we're just silent on both of them, and then we just address it on the floor. And again, I'm not opposed to either accepting either road. I just think we need to have adequate safeguards in both cases, and those are not there in Article 23.
Okay.
And they did both get sent to DRA, but DRA just said it, go to your legal counsel.
Well,
Like they just,
they're not a money.
Well, I know that there was
Right.
requested though to go to
Right.
them. And the orders, keep them where they are in the order?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. And I guess let's remove the voting line. And I know the budget committee voted on the Article 23, but they don't need to. I mean, I think.
Not only do they not need to, they don't get to.
Yeah,
Right.
right. So I think we'll eliminate the recommended by line, leave the majority vote required line,
Okay.
and then you'll be asked, and maybe we should tell Skip and, I don't know,
Alan
Randy.
Brady.
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna present Article 24. But the first thing they should do is ask us if we recommend it.
And
And then
I'm
that'll give
also
you an
thinking,
opportunity to say, yeah, we do recommend Skip's, but we wanna add some
Right.
conditions.
right. And in my view, it would be appropriate to offer Skip the opportunity to offer the amendment.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, I don't, and
Or
the
at
the
least
amendment
it-
is not inconsistent with what we've discussed with
Or at
him.
least they agree to it. I
Right.
think, I don't wanna put Skip into a box where he has to divine what it is that we can negotiate with our road agent.
No, but we have some suggested wording
Yeah.
for the amendment.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be too expansive.
Right,
We need to be pretty specific about
right.
it.
It's a narrow road, it's not the only dirt road in town that's narrow. So, you get to saying, gee, we want it to be 6 feet wider.
Yeah, I don't know that it's that narrow.
Hmm?
I don't know that it's that narrow. I think what he's looking at is a road in winter. which
Yeah, right.
is plowed by
Right,
private
right.
citizens, so.
Yeah,
All right, so we're in agreement on that? Okay. I think
Wraps it up.
that's it, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm just gonna check it.
Any other business to be had in public, and then we'll go into non-public?
I'm all set.
no, I think we're good.
Good. All right, I'm gonna.
Well, we gotta ask the boss over here.
Oh, are we good, Karen?
I think so, thank you.
Our fourth selectman.
Oh, you.
All right, I'm gonna close the public session and go into non-public. RSA, whatever, 91A. I don't have
It's C, 91,
A3,
colon through.
Roman 2, parent C.
it.
Yep.
Okay. Personal reputation.
So I'll second that.
Wood, yes.
Marcus, and yes.
I'll be yes.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Joe.